can follow her on Facebook and Instagram, and of course she's here.
But not in
every
real
other
life.
Sunday. Well, yeah, she doesn't want any stalkers, she says. So I guess that won't work out.
I don't know. I might feel pretty special if I had some stalkers.
Don't say that out loud. Here are your questions today for this round. Can I cut this lower branch without causing harm? Oh, I see. This lower one right here.
Yeah, so
Going
this
into the
is
house?
this is a tree you don't really see much at all. Rice paper tree. The reason being is it's borderline frost sensitive. I know I probably couldn't grow it at my house, but looks like it's pretty protected in the courtyard there. So yes, you may cut that lower branch. So remember, a few rules. Don't prune now when there's rain coming, because you don't want open wounds and water into open wounds, because that is just a source of bacteria. Always cut back to a branch of equal or greater size, or cut back to a node, so point of origin, and don't remove more than 30% of a tree at once. And those are just sort of across the board basic rules of pruning. So I'd wait a few more days if you could tolerate that branch being low, wait for it to dry out, and then go ahead and remove it.
Don't some people get a little prune happy?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, especially if, you know, it's in the way.
All right, question number 2. Should I transplant this, and if so, when and how big of a pot?
Okay, so I get a lot of questions about Dieffenbachia, and that's what this common house plant is. They grow very tall, and what they do is they lose their lower leaf. So a lot of times you have the stalk, and people aren't happy with it. So remember, you could cut it off at any height, and it will resprout. You could take the pieces that you cut off and root. If you see roots coming out the bottom, the pot is expanding, or you look at the surface and it's only surface roots, that's when you want to transplant it. These plants will tolerate being pot bound, but remember, when you move to a different pot, only move up about 2 inches wider than the existing root ball, because you don't want to put a root ball into a pot with too much extra soil, because soil is like a sponge, and if the roots aren't there to pick it up, it could rot the plant out. So I would wait maybe a few more months before you transplant that and just move it up to a little bit bigger, but it looks great.
Question number 3. I noticed some damage and a small red bugs, I guess. Should I remove the tree?
So red bugs, without seeing a picture, could be numerous things. When you say little, I'm thinking tiny. There are some little red mites that move really fast, and they're harmless. There are some nymphal stages of the leaf-footed bug, but those are about maybe ½ an inch. So without knowing the bug, I'm not going to say, I would never say remove a tree because there's bugs on it. There is some damage on this, but I can't tell, is this just one branch? Look at the entirety of the tree. If every branch has this sort of this canker and this growth, then you probably want to get an arborist out. Remember, diagnosing trees from TV is not the best. I can't really say if a tree is healthy with all this rain. When in doubt, get an arborist out there, check the health of your tree. But if it's just one branch like this and you pruned it off, it's fine.
Well, should they pull the whole tree out then? I mean, what would you do?
Well, that's what I was saying. You got to look at the entirety of it. If it's just a branch and you
could they just like pull out the roots and stuff like that?
If it's small enough and you're strong enough, or you need to get an arborist. And what are you trying to say, Tina?
I don't know. I'm just.
She's prune happy.
No.
Really prune.
No. No, I know what she's trying to go for.
All right. Marlene Plant Lady, Facebook and Instagram. If you want to follow her, and if you have any more questions, please send them to the Plant Lady at KMAXTV.com. We will be right back.